And every year since Senator Phil Gramm retired, he read the letter from William Barret Travis from the Alamo on Texas Independence Day every year after Senator Tower left office. So we have a tradition every Texas Independence Day of a Texas senator reading the very moving speech from William Barret Travis. Today is the 175th anniversary of our independence from Mexico. This past Sunday, I had the honor of participating in the Washington on the Brazos 175th anniversary of the Texas Declaration of Independence signing. It was a special occasion that brought together almost all of the 59 signers' descendants. Thousands of proud Texans came to commemorate this most pivotal event in Texas' legacy of freedom and patriotism. My great-great-grandfather, Charles S. Taylor, was willing to sign the document that declared Texas free from Mexico. I am humbled to occupy the Senate seat from Texas that was first held by Thomas Jefferson Rusk, who was another signer of the Texas Declaration of Independence. The 59 brave men did not just come in and sign a paper. They took great risk. They put their lives, their treasures, and the lives of their families on the line to do this. And 175 years later, sometimes you don't think of how hard it was for them to declare this separation from Mexico and know that there was going to be a war fought over it, because the Mexican army was in San Antonio at the Alamo getting ready to take the Alamo from William Barret Travis and the roughly 180 men who were there who were trying to defend that fortress. The accounts of the Revolution have been some of our most dramatic stories of patriotism in both Texas and America. The sacrifice of William Barret Travis, Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie, and the others who died bravely defending the Alamo against Santa Anna and his thousands of trained Mexican troops. They were outnumbered by more than 10 to 1. For 13 days of glory, the Alamo defenders brought critical time for General Sam Houston, knowing that they would probably never leave the mission alive. The late Senator John Tower started the tradition of reading a stirring account by Alamo Commander William Barret Travis, and Senator Gramm and now I have continued that tradition. From within the walls of the Alamo, under siege by Santa Anna's Mexican army of 6,000 trained soldiers, Colonel Travis wrote this letter to the people of Texas and all Americans. Fellow citizens and compatriots, I am besieged with 1,000 or more of the Mexicans under Santa Anna. I have sustained a continual bombardment and cannonade for 24 hours and have not lost a man. The enemy has demanded surrender at discretion. Otherwise, the garrison is to be put to the sword if the fort is taken. I have answered the demand with a cannon shot, and our flag still waves proudly over the wall. I shall never surrender or retreat. Then I call on you in the name of liberty, of patriotism, of everything dear to the American character, to come to our aid with all dispatch. The enemy is receiving reinforcements daily and will no doubt increase to 3,000 or 4,000 in 4 or 5 days. If this call is neglected, I am determined to sustain myself as long as possible and die like a soldier who never forgets what is due his honor and that of his country. Victory or death. William Barret Travis, Lieutenant Colonel, Commander. Steadfast to the end and independent to the core, that is the essence of Texas, Madam President. Had Colonel Travis and his men not laid down their lives in the Battle of the Alamo, Sam Houston's victory at San Jacinto just 2 months later would never have been possible. Texas freedom might not have been won. It is important that every generation of Texan pause to remember the patriots of the Texas Revolution. Each soldier who gave his life at the Alamo, Goliad, and San Jacinto, The 59 men who met at Washington on the Brazos, putting their lives in danger by signing the Declaration of Independence and becoming heroes for a cause, and the bravery of the women who gave up an easier life in the East to join the struggle to make Texas the marvelous place that it is today. Madam President, my great-great-grandmother was one of those brave women. She took her 4 children in what was called the Runaway Scrape, trying to flee eastward from Nacogdoches, where they lived, to try to escape the advancing Mexican army and the Indian raids that were happening all over East Texas. My great-great-grandmother lost all 4 of her living children during that sad and hard time for Texas. But that wasn't the last chapter in the Revolution. She came back to Nacogdoches, met my great-great-grandfather, who was there signing the Texas Declaration of Independence, and had 9 more children. So the women also were heroes and heroines of this time, and it is my honor to memorialize the Texas legacy of freedom and patriotism in this way. And Madam President, I would ask unanimous consent that my speech to the celebration this weekend be put as a part of the record following my speech today.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam President.
Madam President.
I yield the floor.
Senator from Vermont.
Madam President, the Leahy-Grassley-Kyle Amendment